Okay, I decided to do I guess what you'd call a review. It's not a how-to guide. It's more of just my opinion of this Copilot navigation system that is available on Omnitracs if your trucking company pays for that. I threw up my GPS next to it, the McNally 730LM, and the only thing, so I'm basically just providing my opinion of this particular product. I may not even know all the capabilities of it, but I've used it, been trying to use it for the last couple months. And I think I've gathered enough information to provide I guess, my opinion on how well this thing works. On the negative side, there's often times where I try to start the navigation portion of this and it does not turn on, even though the rest of the Omnitracs system is working. Then I hit the navigation button to turn this on and it doesn't turn on. It just goes back to the main menu over and over and over again. It could do it for days at a time, or it'll work and then a couple days later it doesn't turn on. So if maybe they fixed that recently, I don't know. But after it started doing that, after I used it for when I could, and it stopped working again, I'm like, well, okay, I'm glad I have my GPS. Another negative, whereas on my system, I can find all the travel centers that are along my route, which is this route that I have plugged in to the Omnitracs Copilot. Here I am barely on the inside of Illinois from Indiana. Glad to be out of that state, and that's where I'm headed, is near St. Louis. And on my GPS, I can pull up every, let's see if I can do this without knocking it down, every fuel stop between here and Madison is listed on here. On the Copilot, let me try to, here I am, I'm looking through my camera to do this. Whoop. On the plus side, it's easy to move stuff around, which I like. On the negative side, I look for travel centers along my route, and it only shows up to like 20 miles. So if I need to know something that's like 500 miles out for a fuel stop planning, I can't do that. And then let me zoom in here so you can see I'm at a truck stop right now that doesn't show on here. So for these truck services, it's more of just saying, hey, here's a spot. You know, it doesn't even tell you what it is. It just says, hey, you can pull off of here for truck services without any specific information. Let's expand it. It gives an address. I can set it as a destination. Yeah, that's great, but I don't know what it is, so it doesn't help me. So that would be a negative in my column. As with a regular GPS, I can find every single rest area along this route. And I can pick the one I want to go to and go to it. Whereas this one, yeah, you might be able to find rest areas for like 5 miles out. So, just so you can see that the maps are the same. The one positive of this system, let's see if I can go to the map.
0.3 miles ahead.
Yep,
turn left on ramp to I-70 west.
Ahead. See, there used to be. Now I've lost how to do it. Here we go. Here it is. This option right here, drag route. This is the only one of the few positives this has. Let me see if I can switch hands because I'm not left-handed. So, yep, Madison Drive in Madison, Illinois is where I'm headed. But if I wanted to, I can tap this button and then grab my route if I wanted to. And this is just for an example because this is definitely not faster. I can drag my route to a road I want it to go on. So I can alter my route that easily. To me, that is awesome. Because on my GPS, I've got to find a point along the route and add it. And then all the route after that point disappears off of my route until I reach that via. Well, here, I've been able to just change it like that. I pulled it down to this one. I'm like, let's say I made a mistake. I can click on this and I can delete that waypoint. And it goes back to normal. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. Now, it does give you trip time and estimated hours and how many miles you have to go. But that is the one positive feature I can find on this. So, and that's really the extent of my review, because I'm not going to show you how to use this particular device because it's complicated. I can switch between a 3D map and a 2D map, so it has that functionality, and this is just the main thing it can do. If you want to see directions, look for a detour, but I mean that's basically on. See, you can accidentally clear your whole trip out if you want. So what would I give this as far as stars? If it was a 5-star hotel, I think I would be giving it 2 stars. Why is that? Let me give you an example of why that is. As my route, let's say I had a route that went along 70. Oftentimes this Copilot navigation system, I don't know why it does it, but if I was just traveling down 70 to St. Louis, there's oftentimes where it'll tell me to get off on this exit and then get right back on the highway. And it'll do that continually. As I go down the road, it'll find a random exit and just say, hey, get off here. Okay, now get back on the highway. And I'm like, why? Why would you even tell me to do that? That's just crazy. Also, it'll tell me if I've made a wrong turn or I missed my exit. It'll have me go on, try to make a lot, or it allows me to make U-turns. But sometimes it'll see a road that doesn't really exist. It may have existed at one time, but it'll ask me to make U-turns in the craziest of places. So you got to be careful if you rely on this. Now, if it's working, if this turns on, and I had to solely rely on this, I could. It would just take me a lot longer to do my job, because I would have to really drill down. I would have to use my phone in addition to find like a Love's or a Pilot to do fueling, to plan my fuel trip. I could go without my phone because I have a binder. I don't know if you can see this very well. I have a section in there that covers all the available fuel stops we're allowed to go to by state. So I can do it the easy way. Here's the easy way. Hey, I need to find a fuel stop. Point of interest along my route. Let's pick a travel center. Oh, there's a Pilot along my route that I can go to. Go. Or I can spend 20 minutes trying to find a fuel stop and then plugging the address into this thing. So that's a negative. So I would guess maybe 2 stars. But I could, if this works, I could get away with not getting this. I could get away with it. Would I want to? No. Me personally, Dale Clay, would not want to live without a commercial truck driver, commercial GPS that I can buy in a store. Because this does not fulfill the needs that I have as a truck driver. That's my needs. It may fulfill the needs of other truck drivers out there, so I just want you to know it's available for those that drive at Maverick Transportation. But for me, this is what I go by, or I utilize more as a tool when I'm doing my driving. That in conjunction with my map book and my with my map book and this, I'll spend a little bit of time making the way I want to go on a route versus doing the line drag, which is the plus on this. But otherwise, yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, you can let me know by leaving a comment, and maybe I'll answer it. Hopefully it's not a comment to say, hey, can you show me how that works? Because my answer is going to be, no, I'm not going to show you how that works. If you get a truck and you get an Omnitracs that has the Copilot navigation system on it, you can figure it out on your own. Or you can Google it, because Google is your friend.